Hello everyone, welcome back to Twisted Serenity with Mimi. Thanks for clicking on my channel. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how I created some more gingerbread DIYs. Now I know I've been making a bunch of gingerbread DIYs, but it's what you guys have been asking for. I have created several kinds, which you guys are like several kinds of different types of projects, which you guys will be seeing on my channel very soon. So with that being said, sit back and relax or craft with me. Let's get started. Okay, so for this first one, I have this mason jar shape that I picked up from Craft to Square, of course. And I'm going to use this gingerbread wood cutouts. And they bring 14, and I'm only going to use one pack throughout this whole entire video. So I'm going to start by painting all the little mini wooden gingerbread. And basically, this is a mix of my nutmeg brown, a little dash of red, and a little dash of yellow. Okay, I'm just going to show you guys once because I do this to all the gingerbread men in that wooden pack. I just put some puffy, like using the puffy paint, I put some eyes, make a little mouth on them. And on the other ones that I do use my white puffy paint. But I am not going to use that for these ones. But I am showing you guys how I did decorate all of them, except for the ones that I'm going to use in this DIY. And that's pretty much it, very basic. Okay, so I'm going to just use my heat gun to remove that little raffia bow. And then I'm just going to place my gingerbread. I'm not gluing them down yet. I just want to position them because I did this decal using my Cricut. And I just wanted to make sure they were, placed right so I could transfer it on. So I transfer on my decal. And then once I transfer them on, I just place them in the direction that I wanted my little gingerbread men to go, and then I glued them down. Okay, so I wanted to personalize this piece, so using my Cricut again, you could use a marker for this, little small stickers. I wrote all my children's names on each of their the gingerbread men. Now, this would be a great gift if you want to give this to somebody. You could do something like this and personalize it with that person's names, a family member. I just found it so stinking cute. I did a piece like this for Halloween and for fall time as well, like with the pumpkin patch and like the little ghost. So I wanted to show you guys this little trick, and I took the handle of a paintbrush, and these are those beads that they have at Dollar Tree. So I cut a little piece of the handbrush off, the paintbrush off, and I took two of those beads out, and I sanded one end of them. I wanted the end to be like a little bit flatter because I'm going to use these two little beads as handles because I'm making a little mini rolling pin. So as you see, I just, sand it all up with my brush. And then I'm going to glue those beads, one to each end of our little paintbrush stick that we ended up cutting. Now, I was not going to leave it that color. So I took some white paint and I gave it like a base coat. And then I went over it with some antique wax just to make it more like of a rolling pin texture type of thing. See, the words I be making up are crazy. I don't know. Sometimes I just ramble, and you see what I did though. Anyways, I have this ribbon, and this ribbon is from Valentine's Day, I believe. And they have this out now for Christmas time. It doesn't just have like the wired, like more glittery ends to it. And I'm just going to wrap a piece around the top of our mason jar. And then I'm going to take some red and white baker's twine, and I'm going to wrap some of that around the top of our mason jar as well. I wanted to decorate the little rolling pin a little bit more, so I wrapped some baker's twine, a piece to each side. And then this little ribbon I have used in my previous DIYs, I added a little piece onto the rolling pin. And that was it for this one, you guys. Let me know what you guys think. Okay, so on to the next. I have this wood cutting board from Crafter Square, of course. And then I found this image on Google and I printed it out on tissue paper. I love to print out on tissue paper, and when you transfer it on, it looks beautiful. So I'm just cutting it out and I set it to the side, and then I grab my cutting board and I'm going to stain it with my watered down Waverly wax. I stain the whole entire thing, the front, the back, the sides. You guys know the drill. Make sure you guys stain that whole entire thing. So once it's dried, you want to make sure it's really, really dry before you do this. We take our little image, and this is just some Mod Podge, and I'm going to go not too heavy with the Mod Podge. And I'm going to put Mod Podge all over the front of our cutting board. And then I'm going to take our image, and very carefully, I am going to lay our image to the front of our cutting board where we applied our Mod Podge on. And then I take my hands and I softly go over it, but then I use my brain not to rip my tissue paper. I use the little trick of saran wrap, and I use the saran wrap to really go over the image and to really, I feel like that image goes so smoothly over the wood when you do use the saran wrap, the clear wrap, you know, over the image. So I grab my wood block and I'm going to sand downwards away from our image just to get all that excess tissue paper all around, like, you know, the rim, the edges. I don't know why I said the rim. The edges of our cutting board. And I didn't really like the way the top looked. So, of course, we're going to cover that anyways. So I take this bow that I made with all different fabrics and some of that little gingerbread ribbon that I had, and I just glued the bow right onto my cutting board, and that is it. This is another piece for a tier tray decor, another gingerbread decor piece. I hope you guys enjoyed. Okay, so these round blocks came from my big pack of blocks that I got from the thrift store. If you're a returning subscriber, you know which pack of blocks this was. And I'm grabbing some more of these beads that we got from Crafter Square. So I got 4 of the blocks and I got 8 of the beads, because we are going to make 4 little mini rolling pins. I already sanded down the ends of, you know, the little beads a little bit, just so the both ends won't be too round. Now you guys can leave them like that if you guys want to, but it's up to you guys. So I gave them basically a base coat of white paint, and then I went over it with my candy apple from Apple Barrel. They do sell these in red, so you can completely skip this step. But unfortunately, my baby came, my toddler I should say, and he used them all inside with his toys and he lost all of them. So this is what I have to do. So once I have everything painted that I wanted painted, it was time to like assemble my little mini rolling pins together. So as we did with our first DIY, we're just gonna attach 2 of the beads to each side of our little round log thingy. I don't even know what it's called, but our little round log. So basically we're assembling 4 little mini rolling pins. After I assemble our 4 little mini rolling pins, like I said, we were going to use the same pack of gingerbread men for this whole video. So I'm just taking some of those gingerbread men and I'm going to take some baker's twine. Okay, so I lay the baker's twine flat down on my surface, and then I'm going to start basically to make a pattern out of my gingerbread men. So I didn't want our little gingerbread men to be hanging by their heads. I wanted them to be hanging by their little hands or their little arms. So I glued down my little gingerbread man down with one arm. Then I glued down a little mini rolling pin. Now when I glue down the next gingerbread man, I glue him by his arm again, but I want him to go in the opposite direction as the first gingerbread man. So I'm going to continue that same pattern of the gingerbread man, a rolling pin, but as I alternate between the gingerbread men, I will make them go in opposite directions. And once you do that, that's it for this one, you guys. I think I'm going to hang this on my tier tray. Okay, so we're grabbing one of our little mug cutouts. Everybody use these during Christmas time, during every holiday, whatever it is. Now this little concoction looks like a nasty little mess, but this is basically some paint, some nutmeg brown and territorial beige mixed with some caulk and some Mod Podge. Now I'm just using my toothpick and I'm going to put it all over my little mug. I wanted this to look like a little mug of gingerbread, so you could paint it on, but when it dried I wanted it to have like that bubble effect. So that's the reason why I did it this way with the caulk and the Mod Podge. So I'm just going to, like I said, put it on there and wait for that to dry up. So it was semi-dried up. And before I decorated the top of the mug, I grabbed a piece of baker's twine and I put it through the hole and I just twined it up like a little ornament. I didn't know what direction I was going to go in with this little project yet. So that's why I did it this way. Because I didn't know if I was going to turn this into an ornament or I was going to turn it into a garland. But you'll see what I'm going to do now. So I tie that up. And once I have that tied up, I start to decorate the top of our little mug. And I'm sorry, but before that, I did his face. Or her face, I should say. And what I did is I grabbed some black puffy paint for the eyes. I made a little nose with some red puffy paint. Black puffy paint for the mouth. Now I do be using my toothpicks to help me just move the puffy paint around, so I don't have to use so much puffy paint. Transfer it on, putting them on. Plus the tips of these puffy paints, they're not too fine, so you don't know when they come out, and sometimes they just come gooping out. So that's why I just use the little toothpicks to just help me, make the little shapes. So once I'm done creating her sweet little face, I grab my puffy paint, and this one is from Walmart. And I'm just going to do the outline of the faux little whipped cream on top of her. And I love this one from Walmart because it does have a finer tip. Now, I use my puffy paint from Dollar Tree to fill in all of the inside because I am cheap like that. And I'm sorry, craft supplies does get expensive. I'm a single mother of 4 kids and I love to craft, and I get so not scared, but I'm so careful for my things not to run out. So I am very frugal, I should say frugal with it, because I'm no, nobody's gonna waste it, and things are too expensive. Well, anyways, moving on. I fill that whipped cream up. Then I take my faux little Christmas tree sprinkles from Hobby Lobby. I decorate the top of the whipped cream, and then I take all the faux sprinkles that I made, my red ones, my white ones, and my fake little candy cane, and I also put those on there as well. One thing I am going to show you guys, I did get this fake little peppermint sprinkles. I don't know what I ordered online. I don't even remember. That's how long I've been having these. And they sent me a little sample pack of peppermint sprinkles. So I decided to add only 2 on to the top of it because I wanted to save some just in case I do turn some of these into ornaments for my tree. Basically, that was it for this part of our little gingerbread lady. Now, I set her to the side once I finish her, and I have my whole ensemble of beads. These are not even half the beads I have. I painted some white, I painted some red, and I painted some looking like little peppermint balls. And I have these wood color ones as well that I took out. So in no specific order, I'm going to take the baker's twine and I'm going to start to assemble our beads onto there. So basically I just grab a red one, a tan one, a white one, and I just, no specific order. And I was actually proud of myself for not doing it in a specific order, but I just wanted it to look just not thought about. Basically, I should say not thought about. And I wanted to string them along there. Once I had them the way I wanted them, I took our little gingerbread lady and I did attach her to one end of our little bead garland. And then for the other side of our little bead garland, a little peppermint garland, I should say, I did make a tassel, and then I attached that tassel to the other end. And that was it for this one, you guys. I am so in love how this one came out. It was so easy to make, so inexpensive. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Okay, on to the last one, you guys. These are one of those little gumball machines that you pick up from Dollar Tree, and they have real gumballs inside. Of course, those gumballs didn't last with my kids. Those been gone for a while, but I do save the little machines always to DIY with them. So since it's plastic, I wanted to, and I didn't want that color for this project, I do go over it with some white chalk paint, just so when I paint over it, it does have something to grab onto. So I just paint the whole entire gumball machine, and I also paint the little top of the gumball machine, which that comes off as well. I wait for it to completely dry, and once it completely dries, I go over it with my Apple Barrel Tutorial Beige. I love this Tutorial Beige color. So basically I'm going to do the same thing and just paint the whole entire paintball machine again. And I give it about 2 coats. Now I'm grabbing some more of my little mini wood gingerbread. These are the ones that are left from that pack that we had from all our other DIYs. And I grab about, I want to say 4 or 5 of them. And I grab this decorative shred. And I take a little bit of the decorative shred and I just push it down to the bottom of our little gumball machine. And then I place our little gingerbread men inside our little gumball machine. I want it to look like a little, basically a little gumball machine of gingerbread men. Obviously that's what it is, but this one's so cute. I love how this one came out. So I stick them in there and then I top it off. I take my black marker and I just write 5 cents on there. And I want a little bit more embellishment on it. So I top it off with a little peppermint. These are the ones I made like in the beginning of the season. Basically it's clay rounded out with some swirlies. And I just add some little baker's twine. And that is it for this. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I hope I gave you guys some inspiration. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and comment your favorite down below. Remember just to follow me on Instagram. I'm no pro on Instagram, but check out my page. For everybody that has subscribed to my channel, I want to let you guys know that I appreciate you guys, and I do thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. And as I always say, this world can throw you twists and turns, but always make good choices. To the next one, you guys.